Chris Joseph is live right now on Canal Street. Chris, we'll go out to you now. What do you know?
Well, if you listen to the press conference, you heard Chief Superintendent Kirkpatrick say the terrorist beat our security plan. And you heard that reporter ask, were you not expecting someone to drive onto the sidewalk? I want to show you that sidewalk in question. Here it is, obviously hours after the event. Unfortunately, a relatively wide berth. You actually see an NOPD car moving now. It appears a coroner's vehicle is moving in. Obviously not the image anybody wants to see, but the cruel reality of what we're dealing with today. As for people moving about, feeling good about their lives, shopping in New Orleans, Canal Street, at least on this side of the road, remains relatively busy. You see young families, Notre Dame fans, Georgia fans, obviously all here for the game. But a lot of foot traffic, both people shopping and just trying to figure out what is going on. As for the scene behind us, it stayed relatively stagnant for the meantime. Obviously, you've got Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, Mobile Communications Center truck in the foreground there. You got state police. It remains roped off. Nobody's been able to cross into Canal Street or cross really the road at all in any capacity since we've been here the last few minutes. But as for the situation now, it remains relatively calm, but this certainly puts into perspective just how much space, unfortunately, the terrorist had when crossing into Bourbon Street. Reporting in New Orleans, Chris Joseph, Fox 8 Local First.
All right, thank you for that, Chris. We want to get to some new information we're learning this hour. We appreciate your report there that the suspect in this case, Shamsuddin Jabbar, we are confirming, and we have Georgia State University is confirming that he attended in 2015 and through 2017 and graduated with a bachelor's in computer information systems. So that's from one of our chief national investigators, Brendan Keefe. We want to show you this video as well, captured on surveillance. We've highlighted that truck. That's the truck right there. This is moments before he turns onto Bourbon Street, right in front of the Crown Plaza there. As the traffic begins to move, you can follow the truck with this. You'll see a NOPD police unit in front of Bourbon Street, and then watch as it appears he hits the gas. In this moment here, you can see that NOPD unit turns up by the Walgreens right there, CVS, and then zooms away. So clearly just turns right in front of that NOPD unit.
That's how he was able to get through again. Kirkpatrick even saying that they had those patrol cars there, but... And
you can see just how in this situation here, there's traffic on Canal at this time, but he's driving like anyone else, right? So what was happening before this, we know what happened right after. Tragic situation and something that is still raising questions as we wait for those answers. You can see again as he then just rips right up onto the side, but barely onto the sidewalk. It appears almost as though just the left side of the car hops up onto the curb and then onto the 100 block of Bourbon and then carries on all the way nearly to the 400 block.
And just seeing this video is just, even though you don't see it happen, you just know what happens after that. And again,
it's chilling.
Kirkpatrick saying that they did, even with those bollards not working, they're still getting repaired. She said that they had those patrol cars there, but obviously, as we see there,
but it didn't work. It didn't work.
It did not work.
It did not work. The plan did not work, and so that is something that needs to be looked at. And Governor Landry assured us that they would have a permanent solution in place. Especially by.
And I know that they said that these repairs were supposed to be done by the Super Bowl, by February of 2025.
But you heard Cantrell say herself 10 years ago, and those bollards were actually installed in 2017, so it wasn't a full 10 years, but they were apparently very shortly after weren't able to be used. Inefficient. So, I mean, that's a question in itself. Why are we paying for something that doesn't work? Why wasn't it tested? Why did that go in place in the first place? And then once you knew that it didn't work, why did it take, by Cantrell's account, 10 years?
To get that done. And again, we did